Hello everybody, my name is Wolfyowns, and welcome back to some more Dungeonborne news, where today we're going to be covering the next announcement that they had for us. Yesterday they said they were going to be releasing another announcement tomorrow. It is tomorrow. We are here. We're back. We went over all the changes coming yesterday, so do make sure to watch that video if you haven't, if you want to stay up to date with what's going on. So, today we're going to be going over their Season 1 roadmap and development philosophy and see what they plan to do in the future. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. Hi everybody, yesterday we announced that we were introducing a lot of changes in design philosophy for the pre-season of Before the Storm. Today we want to share some of our thoughts so we can discuss the upcoming changes for Season 1 DB Reforged. Part 1. The Seasonal Realm and Eternal Realm. So for those of you who do not know, there are going to be two realms. I'm just going to go over this real quick here. Of course, Eternal Realm is going to be available for everyone. It's going to have all your progression, all your items and all that is going to be on that Season 0 realm. It will keep everything you have, your items and all that, as far as I understand. And it's going to have all your stuff that goes from the seasons. All the seasons, when they end, it's going to be like Diablo, where all your stuff moves over to the Eternal Realm. So you'll be able to keep all your progress going forward, and you want to lose everything every single wipe. I actually really like that this is a thing. I really like all of the Eternal stuff, because I'm someone who doesn't really like losing all of my stuff that I worked hard to get. I like to have that stuff so I can like show off and flex on it, or be like, yeah, I got all this stuff for my whole time playing this game. I think it's kind of weird that there's games that, like, I understand the idea of it to start fresh over and over, but I think it's really weird when like you play a game just to lose everything, and then you play just to lose everything, and then you play again. It's one of the reasons why I don't like Dark and Darker too much. I like Dark and Darker as a game, but like, I don't go hard on it because I'm just gonna lose all that stuff anyways. It doesn't matter. You're never making progress. You get a bunch of stuff and then that's it. You lose it. Like, you never make progress. You just stay where you are. So I really like the idea of the Eternal Realm. That's really cool, because then all my stuff will move over to that realm, and if I ever want to play the Eternal Realm because the Season Realm's not that good, I have all of my stuff on the Eternal Realm. That's awesome. I like that personally. That's something that I'm into, but I know that's not for everyone. That's just something that I'm into personally. At the same time, a Season Realm will also be open to give everyone a fresh start. Makes sense. I'm fine with that. However, the vast majority of content and the vast majority of new content will only be available on the Season Realm, which makes sense. You want people to play the new things, and it's going to be on the Season Realm. Then all the new stuff will get moved over, I'm assuming, to the Eternal Realm. Kind of exactly how Diablo does it, so I'm not surprised. Yeah, such as Diablo and Path of Exile, that's kind of how they're copying their, that's where they're getting their ideas from Diablo and stuff. So that's super cool. I like that. Part 2, the pet system. Oh, we're getting pets. Let's go. You know what's hilarious? I actually joked about us getting pets. I don't know if it's in a video. I don't know if I recorded it or edited that thing. I don't know if it's in it at all. But I think to Ali or Bramilda, I don't remember who I was talking to, I said, what are they going to do? Add pets to the game to where the pets collect my gold like Diablo? That'd be kind of cool. So I said that kind of jokingly, but it's funny that we have a pet system right now. You heard that right. A pet system for all classes to try out. Its design is not designed for combat. Pets will have a special inventory that they can hold loot. Ooh! Each game you will have an opportunity to command your pet to carry this loot and extract early. That's cool. That's cool. That's actually, and so it's like Dark and Darker's like the extraction guy. How if you go to hell, you can extract items early. You're gonna have a pet that follows you around, and it can hold items for you. And in each game, you can have it extract early to get out with some of your items. That's cool. That's so cool. I like that actually. That's awesome. We're getting pets that can take our loot out. Let's go. I wonder, like, how quick does it extract? Like, can I tell it, like, in the middle of combat, if I give it a bunch of my items because I know I'm about to die, can I tell it to leave and it will immediately leave? Can it be killed while leaving? Like, if it's trying to escape, can someone run into it and kill it and then take the loot? I'm really curious how that works. Or do you have to defend it for a few seconds? Maybe it opens up a portal like the Treasure Goblin does and it jumps through the portal. That would be cool, actually. That'd be pretty sweet. The inventory can be upgraded and expanded through investments by plane. Nice. Investments by plane, so therefore you're not paying for them. That's cool. They'll probably do cool skins. Like, maybe they'll do like cool cat skins or cool goblin skins for money. Like, they'll probably do monetization like that. I can see that happening, but it's cool that you can make its inventory bigger and upgrade it by playing the game. You can't just pay for it, so that's cool. Eventually, your loyal pet will take on an important task of extracting the most valuable loot for you. That's so cool. I like that. We hope that the pet system can implement the classic safe container. So like Escape from Tarkov, pretty much. How you put like a video card driver in your butt or something. Design and extraction needs with DVD Fantasy to ensure that all players have a guaranteed way to extract some loot every game and win every game if they die. So that's cool. So you have a way to actually, so this gives you a way to actually earn some loot in the game, even if you do go ahead and die. You can put a bunch of loot on your pet, have it extract. So even if you do go into a fight that you know you're gonna die, you at least are earning something in the game. So that's kind of cool. I think it would still be really sweet if they actually like remove the ring at some point or something. I feel like that's what's going to happen in the future, because like it's a dungeon extraction game. It's not a battle royale where there's no reason for a ring. Just let people play how they want to play. If they want to rat or something, go let them rat. I don't think you need the ring and stuff, but that's really cool that we have this other way to get out with items. I'm definitely looking forward to this. This sounds really cool, actually. It is worth mentioning that the pet system will not be an exclusive system for paying players. All players will be able to participate in it, so that's cool. So yeah, this is basically them saying that you don't have to pay to get pets in the game. Everyone's gonna have pets, but maybe you have to pay to get like special skins, like a goblin skin, like a treasure goblin skin. That sounds cool, actually, like a little treasure goblin following you around. That sounds cool. Maybe a cat, a wolf or something. That's gonna be pretty sweet though, so I'm assuming there's going to be skins that you could buy off the shop. That makes sense to me. All right. Heirloom rework. Here we go, baby. I'm assuming without reading this, we're going to be able to craft heirlooms from lower tiers. That makes the most sense of an heirloom rework. We're adjusting the high tier heirlooms in Season 0. The ability to customize affixes on high quality heirlooms proved to be extremely valuable in combat for Season 1. Top tier heirlooms will be redefined as high powered equipment, becoming one of the end game choices of gear. Interesting. So they actually want heirlooms to actually be pretty good for end game choices of gear. I wonder how they're going to do that. This means they require more resources to acquire and craft. Ugh. More resources to acquire and craft. I wonder if I should try to craft some exceptionals now while I can. Because, man, if they become more expensive to craft or to, like, just unlock in general, that's, it's going to be a lot of farming. Especially since loot drops less often. That's the thing with that. Because also, loot isn't going to drop as much from random mobs. It'll drop more from elites. So, if elites drop enough, maybe. We'll have to see. Also, we don't know how much loot drops in hard mode. Because hard mode's a whole new game mode. It has a high loot drop. So, maybe it'll be fine. We'll have to see. But in return, we'll grant high-quality heirlooms with even stronger capabilities than they currently possess. So, yeah. They want heirlooms, high-tier heirlooms, to actually be pretty good for end game builds. So you're probably gonna have people go into a game with at least maybe 2-3 heirlooms going into a game. So that will be interesting. I'm really curious how this works with people bringing in like 3 heirlooms. Like if you're like each one of you brings in 3, but you give those 3 each to one person, so they have 9 heirlooms. Will they be really strong? Will they be able to compete? I'm really curious how that works, because back in the day when you could bring in full heirlooms, a priest with full heirlooms or a pyro with full mana on hit heirlooms was really strong. Actually, it was actually really good. So we'll have to see what happens with that, because they're going to be higher quality and even stronger capabilities. So we'll have to see. Low quality heirlooms will still serve a free baiting stakes for cheap gear to help players reduce the gear fear. Makes sense. Implement a popular community suggestion to be able to craft previous heirlooms and oh, let's go! Nice. You can now craft previous heirlooms unlocked. Let's go! Good change. Nice. So now you can craft lower tier heirlooms. So now you don't need to craft just exceptionals and purples. You can craft the grays, the blues, the greens. That's huge. That's a good change. Let's go. Nice. Players can choose whether the quality of the heirloom they craft based on their goals. So that's cool. Nice. I like that. That's a good change. Good change. Dungeonborne out here cooking, boys. It's cooking. This season's gonna be so good. I'm hoping that when the season comes out, we're getting a new class. I want a new class so bad. Maybe I'm not gonna be surprised if we get like a ranger or something, because I think that's just like a really easy class to implement. You give it a bow, you give it some arrows, and you call it a day pretty much. I would like a cool like class in a game like this. Like I would love to have like a necromancer or something, like someone that could summon like skeletons to fight for them or stuff like that. I just love pet builds in games, so like I would love a necromancer. A necromancer would be so cool, but we probably realistically in a game like this won't get that, but it would be cool. I would like it. I love pet build stuff. All right, moving on to part 4, combat balance rework. Throughout Season 0, we received tons of feedbacks and balancing and getting through our discussions. We'd like to share some of the insights with you. All class skills should be able to be interacted with weapon attacks, defense, or player movement positioning. So all skills, so they want all skills to be able to be interactive with either weapon attacks, defense, or movement. So like you can position yourself to avoid an attack, or you can block an attack, I'm assuming with the defense. You could parry an attack maybe. So they want all skills to be able to be countered. This ensures that melee and range combat doesn't feel disconnected at all. Spells and abilities have a counterplay option. So yes, they want everything in the game to have a counterplay option to it, which is why they changed the Cryos Frostbite, which actually right here with the recent rework to the Cryos Frostbite was a good starting point. So yeah, so with the Cryos ability now shooting an arrow out that's blockable, that's actually a really good change, because back in the day when you fought a Cryo, there was nothing you could do about the Cryos dot. They would look at you and they would just snap their fingers, and then you would just instantly have the curse on you, and there's nothing you could do. It was free damage constantly. But as they're saying right here, the Cryo's stats are pretty low at the moment of adjustment, because they are just, no one's playing Cryo anymore because Cryo stats aren't like the best right now. It's just not, it's not, with a blockable ability and having to channel the ability, it's not super great in this moment. So maybe like buffing it a little bit would help it, but we'll see how that happens. But yeah, every ability should have a way to counter its abilities. So that should have some kind of counterplay to them. So that's good. More counterplay into the game, more ways to fight people is good, because Cryo was just insane. You snapped your fingers and you just started putting curse dots on people. It was wild. The game at that point, because of Cryos, was not even Dungeonborne, it was Cryoborn. Like, we lived in a Cryos paradise. So if you haven't seen that song, just say, we lived in a Cryos paradise. Shortened melee TTK. Although from a dummy's DPS perspective, melee classes are not inferior to ranged classes. However, as players become more proficient in defense, counter, movement, techniques, and all that, the melee TTK to kill is currently slightly longer than the range burst TTK is longer in comparison to the extraction PvP games. So yeah, some range, mainly because I think it's more just their abilities are harder to block. Like, for example, lightning staffs and stuff like that, Pyro's massive fireball, the Pyro Ball, whatever. It's you can't block all that stuff like you can in melee. Like in melee fights, it's like, I block your attack, I counter you, you counter me. I parry you, you parry me, I parry you. Parry battles are so cool in this game though. I really like longer fights. I think longer fights are more fun. It provides a more back and forth kind of fight. So I actually like longer fights, in my opinion. I think it's more fun. Like, one of the things I dislike about Dark and Darker is that the fights in Dark and Darker are like kind of too fast. Like, I don't know if they changed that. I know they've increased like healing and stuff in that, but in Dark and Darker fights, you often win in like 2 hits. Sometimes just hit someone twice and they're dead. Way too fast, in my opinion. I like longer drawn out fights. Longer drawn out fights are more fun because it's a back and forth where like someone can come back. There's been fights in this game in Dungeonborne where I was losing a battle and I almost died. We had a back and forth. I got away. I closed the door. I healed up, and then I came back, and then we had a longer fight, and then I won. So I like that. I like longer fights. So hopefully we're not just getting rid of the longer fights in the game. I would much prefer longer fights than shorter fights. Shorter fights aren't fun. It's just you don't stand a chance or anything like that. You know, short fights are just not fun when it ends too fast. Like, if I hit you 2 times and then you're dead, like, I don't know, that's not fun in my opinion. Longer melee TTK leads to fewer surprises, difference in playstyles and equipment. Power level makes it more difficult to win with fewer numbers or weaker power, slightly discouraging players from taking a risk. In Season 1, we plan to shorten the melee TTK by increasing the damage of weapons without increasing the damage effect. Okay, so yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. It really just depends. They want to make TTK for melee shorter by increasing the amount of damage that melee weapons do. Maybe this will be fine, but like, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like, for example, rogues with crossbows literally shoot you 1 time for half of your HP. So I don't know. Like for example, if they shorten the TTK for melee, unique weapons like the mace that pretty much one-shots people, it's you're pretty much gonna die every single time. I guess it already one-shots you, so what's the difference? Like, I don't know. I'm a little concerned about shortening the TTK for melee, but maybe it'll be fine. We'll have to see. I'm curious what they really plan to do with that. I don't like shorter like melee fights or shorter fights in general, so we'll have to see. Maybe it won't be that bad, but I'm not a big fan of that idea. All right, number 3, clarifying the roles of classes. We use the common role from RPGs and MOBAs games for the classes such as tank, fighters, assassin, mages. Range burst damage, marksman's range, create blah, blah, blah. Place styles dynamic. For example, we want Death Knight to be frontliner, give them capabilities on the hands and nerf cryo, the healing, frostbite, healing, life on hit, healing, fair the lake. 2 classes simultaneously. Okay, so they're basically just talking about balancing the classes pretty much. The balance discussion above is under the development and testing, so yeah, but they want to launch it, so yeah, they want to, they're basically just going over the balance of what they want classes to be. They want more classes to be more of, like, fitting their role instead of, like, the cryo being also kind of a tank and a range assassin at the same time, so just basically balanced discussions about what they want to do, which makes sense. They just want to rework the combat in general. Part 5, Monster Rework. Alright. Currently, monsters in the game provide a fairly balanced, one-dimensional combat experience. Players trade health and acquire resources. In Season 1, we want to aim to introduce more engaging combat mechanics for PvE. For instance, some regular monsters will be tuned to be incredibly easy to kill. I'm assuming it's going to be goblins, maybe skeletons and stuff. Really increasing the risk of being detected by exposing others. Other monsters might possess high frequent healing abilities. Ooh, so some are gonna heal. Interesting. Like maybe like an undead priest or something. Requiring the players to quickly end a battle throughout burst damage and heavy hitting mechanics. I'm really curious how that's gonna work if like... How's that gonna work if you're playing like cryo or something where you just dot and you only have dot damage? I bet, hopefully you have like a lightning staff or something, I suppose. To enhance the core combat experience, we plan to allow certain monsters to use character skills, even boss abilities. Oh, interesting. So some monsters are going to be using actual player skills. I guess to make it so you can actually learn how to counteract player skills, but in monster form. Kind of cool. This will give new players a chance to learn, to learn and adapt based on the current PvE, yeah. So yeah, they basically want to help players that are newer to the game learn how to counteract some abilities, so when they go into a PvP encounter or a boss fight, they know how to counteract that ability. It's pretty cool. I actually like that, actually. Elite monsters and bosses currently present a high risk and high learning curve, but once mastered, they feel repetitive and lack compelling reasons to engage over and over. That's mainly because they don't really drop anything too crazy most of the time. I do all the bosses all the time. When I go into a game, I kill as many bosses as I can because I actually get a decent amount of purples that way. I kill Wendigo every single time I go to Hell because he drops a purple guaranteed. I pretty much do that all the time. You can see it in my videos. In my videos, I literally show myself doing Wendigo often because also you have a chance for a legendary. Even if it's on a cooldown right now, you still have a chance to get it. It's not impossible. I've gotten a legendary off of a boss just killing bosses alone, so it's not impossible. Furthermore, designs often fail to probably account for the ranged DPS characters. Yeah, so I know what they mean here because I love doing bosses on Pyro. Pyro can do bosses so easily. I kill Reaper really easily. I kill Minotaur easily. I kill Wendigo easily. Like, a lot of the bosses don't take into consideration range DPS characters because melee... If you have to fight a Reaper as melee, it's a little bit of a work. If you want to fight a Minotaur as melee, you can get hit by a mace constantly. You also get slowed, which is really bad if you get slowed into a mace combo. Wendigo is a little rough as melee because he has fire totems, ice totems, slow totems, lightning. He does the light show. Like, melee against Wendigo is a lot. There's a lot to worry about. So yeah, a lot of range just kind of counteracts the bosses. So like, I totally understand what they say here by it fails to properly account for the DPS range characters, because the range just deals with bosses and elites and all that real easily. Drawing inspiration from games like Monster Hunter, we tend to address these shortcomings through better stage design and mechanics that equalize the damage windows for melee and range characters. Ooh. Players will be able to capitalize on these damage windows and potentially extend them by employing skillful action and counterplay. The goal is to create more dynamic and comfortable TTK. Okay, that's pretty cool. So basically, I'm assuming they want to, what they're saying by this, because I think in Monster Hunter, there's times where you can stun a boss or a creature. So if you stun it, maybe you'll be able to just do a lot of damage to it real quick. Maybe that will help melee characters. Like if you could stun Wendigo from time to time, it would probably help melee kill it quicker. So that will be interesting. I think it'd be really cool if they added more bosses to Hell, actually. Like not just Reapers and Minotaurs and stuff, but like the Wendigo. Like it has like a, when you go to Hell, it'd be cool if it had a random chance to not just be a Wendigo. Like it's always a Wendigo. I know they'll probably add more bosses over time, but it'd be cool if when you went to Hell, sometimes it was a different boss. Like it's completely random what it is. Maybe it's next time it's the Dark Lord, like the Dark Necro Lord or something. Like it's a boss that summons a bunch of ads and it's really rough for range to deal with the ads. So maybe a melee character's really good for a Necromancer. Maybe melee characters aren't good for Wendigo. You know, make each boss like where it's good to have a different type of class for that boss. Maybe for a Necro boss, like he makes the outer ring of the Hell area of his like arena a like poison cloud, so range, if you're in that you take damage or something. I don't know. More bosses in Hell that are random between like Wendigo, Necromancer, a Mega Reaper or something like that. I don't know. Something cool like that would be pretty cool to give you more replayability when you go to Hell, because you're like, oh, this time it's Wendigo. This time it's the Necro Lord. This time it's Cherry Blossom. I don't know. Something. These adjustments and refinements will be going on processed through season 1. We are getting data and player feedback. Makes sense. Moving on to part 6. Thoughts on solo and team play. Oh boy, here we go. This might address the hard mode that we were talking about. We'll have to see here. We're carefully considering the relationship between solo and team play from various angles. We'd like to share our insights on you and be transparent with you in this manner. If we were to completely separate solo team play in environments, it would require completely different designs for both sides, including balancing, design, map structures, reputation, mechanics, boss, economy. The balance is blah blah. Take class design for example. DB's class design is largely inspired by League and WoW. I don't know much about League, but I know a lot about WoW. Where combat has been similarly designed around team play, neither of these games offer solo play as their official or main game mode, which I can kind of see for WoW. I did play WoW solo for a long time though, and I made it work, so I don't know about that. But in those games, I don't know about League, but in those games you can at least play solo mode. It's still there. It's still an option. Sure, you probably can't raid solo, of course, but you can do most things solo. However, when we look at successful extraction games in the industry, they allow solo and trio players to share the same stage. Solo players can find enjoyment. DB, I keep wanting to say DBD, like Dead by Daylight. DB's experiment with team mismatching during early playtests. That was not good, because like the difference between, if they're talking about like Escape from Tarkov here with the extraction game industry, I don't know why. I don't know if they do or not look at Dark and Darker, but like Dark and Darker has different modes. Dark and Darker has solo game modes, duo game modes, and trio game modes. Like, and it's a good game. It's not terrible. I don't know why they don't look at Dark and Darker. Like if they're talking about like Escape from Tarkov here, if you're mixing like solos and trios, I don't know if Escape from Tarkov does that. I haven't really played the game, but like it's just a different playstyle. In Escape from Tarkov, you could kill someone with just like one shot to the head or something. It's completely different than a medieval extraction game. I feel like what they should be doing, and this is, you know, what I feel like they should do, is look at what Dark and Darker is doing and just modify off of that. Because Dark and Darker isn't doing everything perfect. It could be better. Just look at what they're doing and just do things that they're doing, but better. Like for example, remove the ring. Like the ring should not be in the game. It's a dungeon extractor. It's not a BR. Give her the ring. The ring does not need to be in the game. Just remove it. You'll allow for so many other people to play the game how they want to play it, and just enjoy the game without forcing people into a small area, just get rid of the ring. It's not needed. Remove it. In the future, we're going to get rid of it anyways. I see where this is going. We're going to remove the ring in the future, so might as well just get rid of it now. Anyway, so what exactly is DB missing? We're going to go, where do we go wrong with our mixed team matchmaking to be unfair to be unfriendly to solo players? Well, for starters, gear is insane. Having 3 people on 1 gear team, like, you just stand no chance against a 3-man if you don't have good gear, and if you have good gear, you still probably don't stand any chance against 3 people with really good gear. So I just don't think, like, I don't know why they're like, where did we go wrong that caused our mixed team matchmaking to be unfriendly to solo players. For starters, 1, you buffed the ring damage. For 1, you didn't get rid of the ring's still in the game. And also for 3, it's just not, it doesn't work that way. 1 person versus 3 people with really insane gear, it just doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense. Especially if you're melee. If you're melee, how are you supposed to fight 3 other melee players? How are you supposed to do that? You can't get out of that fight. You're melee. When you're in there, you're in there. Number 1, TTK, PvP TTK. DBD CTK, especially in melee, is longer than shooter games. Makes it extremely difficult to fight against multiple opponents. Melee characters all have short range and are in danger once they engage combat. I literally just said this. PvE TTK, Hunt Showdown, for example, fewer mobs, kills like 2 seconds, explore, blah, blah, blah. Number 4, poison circle and random extractions. Circle forces solos and trios to confront each other directly other than allowing players to choose whether they want to challenge. So this is what I'm talking about right here. The ring forces players to, like, if you want solos to be able to have a chance against trios, if you really want that, you need to get rid of the ring. You're forcing people into each other. And instead of trying to go around the ring to position better or trying to wait for another team to jump in so you can get in on that action as well, you need to actually not have a ring in the game so you can actually make plays like that. So you can actually go around and try to get an attack from behind or flank or something. You need to, having a ring that prevents you from doing that doesn't allow you to do that. The ring just doesn't need to be in the game. You literally have it listed here as one of the issues. You're like, where did we go wrong? It's one of your issues here. Number 4, just remove the ring. Oh, let's see. Lack of guaranteed profits. Solos. I at least have pets for this now. Adventure solo, play competitive, and survive once. Actually, that'd be kind of cool, actually. If you can get, it'd be kind of cool if, like, solos, if you get a res stone as a solo, you can res yourself. That would be kind of cool, actually. Res yourself, like you would res somewhere else, that maybe like a spawn location or something like that. But you only lose what's in your inventory. You don't lose what's equipped to you unless you die again, unless you have like maybe another res stone maybe. That would be kind of cool. That'd be a cool thing to add for solos. We will fundamentally make solo experiments capable of ground, eliminating solo trios, pre-teaming issues, ensure the new mechanics gameplay serve all players. Yeah, I think the ring would probably help with that. Get rid of the ring, and a lot of this kind of just deals with itself pretty much. Let's see. Based on numerous successful extraction gains, we believe that this is an achievable goal. In addition to the content above, more bold changes to the display to begin. Past testing, we share this as soon as possible. We appreciate blah blah blah. Feedback. You can truly achieve a 1v3 wiped out team. You have to really balance out the gear. In order to achieve a 1v3, to really balance out the gear, remove the ring so people can actually like flank around and stuff like that. Give res stones, solos the ability to res themselves, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if a 1v3 is completely possible in a game like this. I don't really think that's super possible in Dark and Darker either, but maybe. And Dark and Darker has really fast TTK. Like, you kill people really quick in that game, unless they changed that recently. Yet again, I haven't played Dark and Darker after all the changes, so I'm not entirely sure. Part 7, closing words. And lastly, we want to take a moment to thank you all for your support and feedback and belief in our vision of the Dungeonborne experience. Your feedback, both positive and negative, has been valuable to shaping the game's direction. We're committed to creating a unique and thrilling experience to stay true to the core extraction of the gameplay. Dungeonborne is more than just a game to us, it is a passion project that we're pouring our hearts into. As we move forward into the preseason, Season 1 and beyond, we're excited to bring you new content, features, and overhaul and improvements to the game itself. We firmly believe in the potential of Dungeonborne and the community has formed around it. Your support means a lot to us, so we want to continue to push boundaries and deliver a game that captivates and challenges you. Thank you so much for being part of this journey. We can't wait to see you in the dungeons tomorrow. So, we got the roadmap here actually too. They have an image here. Let's make this bigger. And we have the Dungeonborne roadmap here that they are sharing before the storm on September 9th, on 29th, which is tomorrow. We're going to be playing that and checking that out. Revamp maps, difficulties, new treasure items, revamp the player's spawn locations, change the map, high, medium, low source zones, dynamic zones, ley lines, better loot drops from elite monsters, insurance, green portals, resident zones, preseason events. Ooh. Let's see, Season 1, so it's going to be coming with Season 1 over here. So this is tomorrow. This is going to be in the future. Eternal Realm, Season Realm, Pet System. Okay, so we're not getting a Pet System until the season. Heirloom rework is on the season. Monster rework, class balance overhaul, class balance overhaul, combat balance overhaul. Solo versus squad design, and to be more announced. So we're going to have a lot more coming with Season 1. But right now we're going to have all of this stuff tomorrow. So we're going to be checking out all of these things tomorrow. I'm super excited for all these changes. I can't wait to check out the map and all that. I can't wait to see the new queues that you can queue up as and only fight people in greens and blues, or only fight people in legendaries, or just in grays. That's awesome. I can't wait for that. That's going to be super fun. But yeah, that's going to be it for all the changes coming. That's the next update. That's all the information that they shared with us. This has been a huge amount of stuff coming. We went over all this stuff yesterday. All these things. We went over that in yesterday's video. And in today's video, we got all of this. So this is a huge amount of stuff coming. This is a lot of stuff that they covered and shared with us. This is awesome. I kind of wish that they shared some of this stuff sooner in the past to try and keep some of the people in the community still here. But I'm pretty sure a good amount of those people will come back with the next update tomorrow and with the season. So I'm super excited to see how all this goes. I know the matchmaking system changes are going to be really good for the people that did not like the matchmaking before. So this is going to be awesome. I'm super excited for the new matchmaking. It's going to be great to only go into a game and only fight people in greens and blues or epics. It's going to be sweet. You can actually avoid Gelflight rogues if you don't like them, or people with legendaries. Fairy Ring, you can avoid those too. Just play in the greens and blue lobbies. So that's cool. Can't wait to check out all that. I'm super excited to see all these changes. I can't wait. The Dungeonborne devs have been cooking, boys. They've been cooking. They gave us a lot here. There's a lot coming. Super excited. I still wish that they would remove the, where is it here? I wish they would remove the circle, remove the ring, because it's an extraction game. Dark and Darker has learned this their way, too, that they removed it, and the game is so much more better without it. Like, we're going to get rid of this at some point. I can already see it in the future. Like, whether it's months from now, years from now, we're going to get rid of the ring at some point. Just get rid of it now. Just remove it. We don't need it. If you want people to be able to counterplay against other people, if you want solos to be able to compete against trios, you're going to have to get rid of a ring, because you're going to force the solo into these three people, and they're going to stand no chance because they can't get out of the ring. They can't get away. They're stuck in a room with them. Get rid of the ring, and I feel like that would just be so much better. Let people play how they want to play. If you are all for people playing how they want to play, then remove the ring. If people want to rat, let them rat. Who cares? People who want to fight are going to go for the hotspot zones and fight each other. People who don't want to fight are going to be able to still play the game and fight. That's still people you're going to have playing the game. I think the ring should go, but other than that, I'm fine with all these changes so far. I like all these changes. These changes are really good. So I'm super excited to check out all this stuff tomorrow, and I can't wait. Let me know how you guys feel about all these changes, about Dungeonborne's changes and decisions, how you guys feel about all this. Let me know down in the comments below. But anyways, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll be seeing all of you guys in the next one. Peace!